I was just talking about how my son was making fun of me because my CrossFit workout was hard. And I'm like, he has no idea that I just signed him up and he starts Wednesday. So, um, okay, guys. So this is my friend Ashley. We were sideline sisters in our previous company. We didn't really know each other. And she was a total badass there. She was a director. She actually went on an elite trip where she earned. And here, so she's been here just since June, right? Okay, so guys, she's been here just since June. She hit silver like her first month, right? First month, is it
Second month.
second month?
Yeah, second month. Yeah.
Okay, and you guys, she's just a wealth of knowledge. So there's a couple things that I'm going to go over with you, but she's just going to hop on here and kind of share with you guys because we have so many women. I think we had like 50 women come on board last month, and I know a lot of you left a pretty significant amount of income, and Ashley left a really big amount of income as she was a director in our previous company. And she's just going to come on here and give you guys tips of like how she transitioned, how to utilize social media properly. And if you guys are on this call and you're like, well, how's this going to benefit me? I've been in this for a while. Please take notes, because when you bring on somebody who is transitioning from another company, these tips that Ashley's going to give you is actually going to help you coach them, because the tips she's going to give you, you guys, there's only a small time frame where you're like in this pocket where you're really creating curiosity. So Ashley, thank you so much for taking time. Whatever you have, girl, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Okay, awesome. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here to share with you. Like Krista said, my name is Ashley Boward. I'm actually mama of four. Walked away from everything in June to come here because I saw what we had, and I was just like, I couldn't unsee it, honestly. I had been in my company for almost 5 years. It was scary, but I knew I was going to do it and I was going to go all in. And so I'm sharing that with you guys because here's the deal. If you are just getting started, you absolutely have to go all in. Do not tiptoe into this. You've got to go all in. And here's why, especially if you're new. Everybody, especially if you walked away from another company, every single person that you know that's maybe in your network, that's watching you on social, all eyes are on you right now. You have this very opportune time when you first walk away from another company to have all these eyes on you, and you have to really use that because people are watching. They want to know why. They want to know why someone would walk away from their income. They want to know why you're willing to give up everything to do something like this. And there's a reason, right? Because what we have here at Q is so different than anything else. And so you've got to be like shouting it from the rooftops. So that means a couple things. So here's what I'm going to tell you. When I left my previous company, I was like hardcore product. That's pretty much all I talked about because I didn't really believe in the opportunity anymore. So I was like hardcore. So maybe that was you. And a lot of times when we get to like maybe like the end of like, being at a company where we feel like we're meant to, not be there anymore, we stop talking about the opportunity and we talk a lot about the products. Can anybody relate to that? Like, it's like, that's like all you're doing. You're just talking about what you're doing. Like for me, I was like, wash my hair, oil treat. I mean, literally, it was just, that's all I talked about. It's product. And so maybe that's you. Maybe you were in your previous company and you promoted product hardcore. Here's the thing. Our products are amazing here. They really are. They are killer. They're the best I've ever used. The thing that I've seen the most results from. I know Krista's story, she was using the products before she even started. I get that. And it's so easy to talk about the products. But what's the thing that makes us sweat a little bit more? It's talking about the opportunity and what we have here, our compensation plan, why you left, why you even said yes to this. And so when all eyes are on you and you've just gotten started, you have to be showing up and sharing that like crazy. Specific to social media, your face should be in your stories non-stop. People want to see you. They want to see your vulnerableness. They want to know why you left, why you would even consider this. I will tell you, I barely touched on the products the first 4 months I was in because I was hardcore. I wanted to make sure that people knew what we have here, what this compensation plan is capable of, that I wanted them to know that the reason that I even was willing to consider Q was because of the compensation plan, but also because of what I was going through. So maybe your story is that you were watching your team not bring in an income and you couldn't do it anymore as a leader, and you walked away because you couldn't continue to watch that happen, and you knew you could help people win here. You have to share those things. You've got to show up and really share the things that really affected you and hit you in your heart. Those are the things you got to be sharing with people. People need to see that. So if you found yourself like, I want you to go look at your stories. And if the only thing you've talked about recently is product, then you need to get in your stories tonight. You need to talk about what we have here compensation plan wise and why you chose this. And I will say this, even if you're not new, you should be in your stories and on your social media talking about it consistently. Even if you think you've already shared your story 52 times, get on there and share it a 53rd. Because I will tell you, and this is from personal experience, people still watch, even 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months later, they're still watching you. And so one time you're going to share why you said yes to this, and that one time somebody's going to hear you. And so making sure you're on that. This also goes to, if there's people that you want to do this with, do not hesitate to tell them that. I know it's hard because if you're transitioning from another company, you're like, well, gosh, like, I don't, how do I go about this? Well, first off, Krista did it. So she's an amazing resource. But like, be coachable, be willing to lean into why it's different here, be willing to talk about it, be willing to share about the proximity, the compensation plan, why you said yes, all of it, every aspect of it. I challenge you guys, like especially if you just got started, every single day, I want you to get in your stories and pick something, whether that's proximity, whether that is compensation plan, whether that's your story. Maybe it's the reason you walked away. Maybe it's the struggles you had in your previous company. It all matters. I know for me, one of the things I just shared about this week, which started a ton of conversations, is my car being paid off that I had earned in my previous company. It was a car payment that I had to cover even when I walked away, that I had to cover even though it didn't even, what I was making, like what I was getting wasn't even covering that car payment, right? So that's what I shared about hardcore this week, is because I was like, our financial freedom movement allowed me to pay this car off early that I was having to cover. And so I'm going on and I'm sharing about it. And so think about those things. Think about the things that people are looking for. Think about the people that are struggling. And if you're holding yourself back because you were in another company, you guys, people are hurting and struggling just like you were. We are in this to help people win, right? We're in this to change people's lives, to help people be able to come here and know without a doubt that we can help them bring in an income here. And so if you said yes for those reasons, you've got to share that. You have to share why you said yes. I know products are easy to talk about, but if that's all you're talking about, that's not going to be the thing that's going to get you where you want to be in this compensation plan. You got to talk about what we have here and why we're so different. And so people are watching you. If you are new, you have about 3 months max. I mean, that is max, where people are going to be watching your stories. They're going to be watching what you're doing. They're going to be listening. They're going to be wanting to know more. They're going to be asking you why you left. And really, that's on the high side. I would say you're going to give yourself about 4 to 6 weeks. And in that span, you need to be sharing like crazy. Like, don't think, oh, I shared my story yesterday, so I shouldn't say anything today. No, every single day, because it will rotate through who's watching you. I promise. I could attest to this. It will rotate through. And here's the thing. If you see somebody watching you and you know what their objection is, guess what your job is? To get in your stories and speak to that. Speak to the heart and the pain points of people, because that is why you said yes too. So if that's you and you've been talking a lot about products, I really want you to no, stop talking about so much about the products, because they're great. They speak for themselves. They are amazing. Sure. But what do we have here opportunity wise? What do we have here with timing? We just launched Q Home. We just enhanced our compensation plan 3 times. We just lowered more prices. You are about to have the ability to have people earning executive plus and elite plus. Get on your stories and talk about that. Because what does that mean? That means that what our president did is he made it to where we can increase people's pay faster. Like, what a dadgum gift. Like, if you're not shouting that from the rooftops, like, you need to be, because it is wild. Like, when I talk about it, this is why I'm so excited, because I talk about it and I'm like, I'm messaging people like, you already hit elite plus, like, you already increased your check. Like, that's huge. Like, that you want to be sharing about that, sharing about it, shouting it out. If you have somebody that hits that new rank, even if they are, okay, let's say somebody hits executive plus and they're elite. It doesn't matter. Get on there and say, this person has already hit executive plus this month and it's only the 6th. Like, what? Like, those are the kinds of things you want to share. Also, something else, share everybody on the team's wins. I don't know if you guys do this, but always share everyone's wins. People need to see that people are winning here. It does not matter if they're under you or not. We are doing this together. We are a collective within the team. Like Krista, like, she asked me to do this. I'm like, sure, why not, right? Share everybody's wins on the team. People need to see that people are winning here. It does not matter if they are under you or not. It matters that people are growing and winning here. So share that like crazy. Shout it from the rooftops. And it's real. It's real, because there is a wild amount of growth, and we want people to know that. We want people to know that we're one of like 3 companies to even have any growth. And so those are things we want people to know. And so you got to be sharing it. You got to be sharing it like crazy. Okay. So all eyes are on you. If you are new, you guys, share it. Share like crazy, nonstop. And if you've been here a while, that matters too. I'm not kidding. I've been here, we're on almost 8 months. I still go on and reshare my story. I still go on and reshare over and over. And I shared a quote that was like, stop holding, oh gosh, I'm trying to remember what exactly it was. Anyways, I shared this quote that was basically like, you'll never know if you're made for more until you take the risk. Something along those lines. And that quote had somebody respond, like, I shared my story, then I shared that at the very end, and that, like, they listened to my story, watched that, and somebody responded to that and was like, okay, I've been watching you for 7 months. Let's go. Tell me more. So don't think just because you've been in for a while that people aren't still watching you to see if your confidence is going to wane. They're seeing if you're going to let off the gas. They're seeing if you're still as excited as you were. That's what they're watching for. So even if you're not new, you still need to be showing up as if you were new and just as excited, because it's real easy for us to kind of take a step back as our team starts to grow. And so speaking to those of you that have maybe been in a little bit longer and you're not new, still got to be showing up the same. You still got to be excited. Don't stop sharing your story. You will have people that are still watching that still want to know. So that's just kind of, a little bit about rolling it out. I think that's it. Krista, anything else you want me to add?
Yeah. Can you just be like super honest with, obviously you guys, you hitting silver for you guys, I'm sure you all know what that is, but that's a set pay of $4,000 a month. And that is $300 worth of any dev choice. So can you just be really honest with everybody on what that looked like? Like, this was not just you showing up for 15 minutes a day. Like, what were you doing the day that you joined to make that 4,000 happen that quick?
Yeah. So a few things I'll tell you, like I said, nonstop. I legit was relentless on social. That's one thing, but I also picked up the phone. I did a lot of FaceTime calls, a lot of FaceTime calls, a lot of, can you call me ASAP? A lot of, can we just have a conversation? And here's the thing, I knew not everybody was going to come with me. I knew I couldn't, that just is how it works. Right. But it wasn't about that. It was about, I am going to share this because I knew how many other people were struggling. And so it was like, listen, like, let's have a conversation. And so, yes, I need to talk to you. Call me ASAP. If you have somebody you want to do this with you, you better tell them, because that's what I was doing. So no, it's not 15 minutes a day. For me, I knew I had to make up my income and I had to make it up quick. And guess what that meant? I had to lean into every uncomfortable moment nonstop. And that was picking up the phone. That was saying, listen, I know this may not be for you, but when I saw the compensation plan, I couldn't unsee it. Can I show it to you? Can we go over it really quick? And if it's not for you, that's fine. Legit, one after the other, after the other, after the other, like that. Also on social the whole time nonstop. And it was a lot. And yes, I had to sacrifice a little bit of time, but I knew if I was going to walk away from everything, I was going to go into this hardcore and get as many people paid as quickly as possible. And so, I don't know that I could tell you like hours, but it was a lot of time initially for sure, because I knew I needed to get to silver as quickly as possible. Like I knew there was a specific amount in my mind that I was like, I have to get to this so that this is not life altering for our family, because I obviously still had my absurd car payment and a lot of other things. And so I was like, this has to happen. So it's just, if you walked away from something, you know what it took to get there. And so I know what it's like to rebuild. And I know that feeling of maybe you got complacent because you were somewhere where you knew you couldn't really rebuild. And so you chose to come here. And I know what that feels like. And so my challenge to you really is to lean into how this is different, and to be willing to be different and be willing to show up differently, but also to go all in. And don't tiptoe into this. Don't halfway do it. If you walked away, like fight for what you walked away from.
Mhm. Yeah, this is so good. Just one last question before I do this last thing is, so I'm getting better with like planning stuff out, but are you somebody that like, when you were in the beginning, did you know, okay, Monday I'm posting like a shout out, Tuesday I'm doing FFM posts? Like, were you like that? Or are you kind of just like, I'm just going to share what's on my heart?
Yeah, I definitely winged it. Every single day was, I've gotten more organized because I know that when you have such a large team, you have to do that. But I will say when I first got started, it was just whatever was on my heart every single day, no products, just opportunity every single day. My story, parts of it, where the struggle was. I know for me, I had people that were losing car payments. So I shared that. I had people that lost shares. So I was sharing that. I was sharing why this hit so hard for me to walk away, because I knew I wanted to be able to help as many people as I could. So I will say, if you keep that mindset, I know it's hard when you're starting something new and you left something, but keep the mindset of, I'm going to show up for the people who need this. I'm going to show up for the people who are looking to be able to do more. So the people who are looking to change the vehicle, but they just don't know what that needs to be, because I know that's how I was. And so just keep showing up, show up like that, go live. I know not a lot of people like to go live. I'm telling you, if you do lives, people will watch and they'll rewatch, and then they'll send it to so-and-so, and they'll send it to the next person. I'm not kidding. It's wild. So it's like, show up 100%. I know I'm talking a lot about social, but if you're walking away from something, guess where people are stalking you at? Social. That's like their eyeballs. Everybody and their mama is watching your stories and watching what you're doing. And the people who don't want to watch your stories, guess what they're going to watch? Because they don't want you to see they watch their stories. They're going to watch your live. So make sure that you're going live and sharing that way too.
Yeah. And I think the biggest point that you've said is like, Ashley and I, we never have like dogged on our previous company. Like we don't even mention it, but 110%, most of people that followed me or that are still from our previous company watching me, as I'm talking a year later, I've been here a year, I'm still talking about the struggles that I had and the solutions that we have here. Because like she said, no matter where you came from, every company has a pain point. And maybe you're like, well, I never came from a company. Okay, what's your pain point as a stay-at-home mom or working corporate America? There's always a pain point, and it's always about Q having that solution and literally talking so much about it that like people are just following you.
Yeah. So, I'll tell you something. If you've never been in network marketing before, first off, it's kind of a gift. It really is. And share, this is one of my favorite stories to share because I actually I just launched somebody like 2 days ago that's never been in network marketing. Share about how there was nothing, maybe you purchased network marketing products, right? Maybe you've bought, oils or whatever from other people and you've supported it, but you've never really like wanted to be a part of the opportunity. That is part of your story, that you never saw a compensation plan, or you never saw a like the business side of it that you actually wanted to be a part of until Q. And so that's how you're rolling it out. You're just rolling it out with different wording. And so you know me, like I had a girl that was hardcore anti MLM that joined, and I said, okay, let's talk through this. So what are you going to go on and talk about? And so I legit like walked her through, like, on your stories, I want you to go on and I want you to share about why you considered this over all the other companies that maybe your friends and family had been in that you had been approached about. And so that's how she rolled out, and that's how she's rolling out. And so that's legit. Like, I was like, okay, FFM, all of this, like, you got to share it all. You have to share it all. And so that's how she is. And she's like shocked at the amount of people that are responding. And so just, know that your story matters too. It doesn't matter if you've ever been in network marketing before. Who cares? Share your story. That's what people want to hear, because there's people like you that never have been either. And when you say the words, there's never an opportunity that I've seen in network marketing that I wanted to be a part of until Q.
Right.
So, yeah.
Thank you so much for taking time. Can you please put your Instagram handle in the comments so these guys can go follow you on Instagram and just kind of, you guys scroll back to June when she came here. Look at her reels, look at her lives, look at all of that. So thank you so much, girl. I'm grateful for you.
Bye, guys.
Okay, guys, I have just like 2 minutes left. I'm gonna teach you this one thing. And just to really quickly finish on what Ashley was talking about is I've on a lot of our launch calls in the last few weeks, I know I've heard a lot of you mention, I'm worried about the opinions. And you guys, just like what she said, think of this like your book. It's your story. It doesn't matter if you've been in 8 network marketing companies before and you're sitting here and you're thinking, gosh, somebody's going to think I'm in another one. Everything she just said is exactly why you can push that fear aside, because of truthfully the gold that is handed in your hand of what we have here at Q. The more honest, the more vulnerable you are, the more loud and proud you are, the more people will come to your inbox, because you're going to be contagious. Like, they will feel this excitement through the computer because of what you found. So that was absolutely incredible. What I'm going to teach you on, literally, this will take 3 minutes, you guys, then we're off. As this new group is coming in, we're teaching you a lot of skills, and it's a lot of how to talk, how to reach out, how to follow up, how to close the sale. And one thing that I really want to teach you guys is how to close confidently. Okay. So as you know, if you're on Jen's team, a lot of our one-on-ones in this last 2.5 weeks, we're teaching you, don't send your link. Do not send your link. And the less you say, the better it is for you. Sometimes we get so excited that we have the sale, and you're talking so much that you just talked yourself out of the sale, right? Like, hey, here's my link, and then like you just paralyze them, right? So when somebody, my whole team has the Canva that I created for you guys. I hope you guys understand what's in that. Like, it's all laid out there for you of how to do this kind of stuff. Okay. So please make sure that you've saved that. But closing with confidence, it truthfully is, it's a skill. So you might be thinking, why is Jen and Krista, Shalise, Natalia, why are they doing so many one-on-ones with me, like where they're literally asking me to reach out in front of them? You guys might think that that's silly. I came here with a lot of ego and a lot of pride a year ago. I was very, very, very uncoachable. And looking back, I really wish I wasn't such a hard-headed ass, if I'm being real. Like, if I can just say that word, because I was an ass when I came here, because I was like, I'm $1 million earner. I don't need anybody to listen to me reach out. Like, I've got this. When no, everything that we're teaching you guys is truthfully a skill that other companies don't teach. So when we are hosting these one-on-ones with you, trust me, it's not because we don't think that you can't do it. It's because we're looking and we're listening for these skills, and it's confidence and it's excitement in your voice. Okay. So the confidence is really coming from what you found. Everything that Ashley just got done saying, you sharing that every day is going to just naturally build confidence. Okay. So, you know, again, it's what we're able to offer people. You know, you should have that strong conviction. If you don't know why you're here, if there's not a true actual vision, I will be honest with you guys, you're going to talk yourself out of this as quickly as you talked yourself into it. Because if you don't really know why you're here and why you're here to make a difference, your emotions are going to run you out in a week, in 2 weeks, in 2 months. We do not run. And if you guys, you're really starting to catch on to my leadership. Like, I do not respond emotionally. Like, I am here to help you run a business. And I have coached a lot of people how to not be emotional, because that's also where your confidence is going to come from what you really have here. Okay. It's just really having the unshakable trust, because yeah. So let's talk about just 2 objections really quickly. Okay. You're going to get this a lot when you're sharing the business. The most 3 common objections is, I'm not a salesperson. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. Now, just because they say those 3 things to you guys, that doesn't mean that they're not going to sign up. Do you know how easy it is to tell you that they don't have the money? Because they think that we're not skilled and we're not going to say something back. Oh, okay. Well, when you have the money, come back to me. Absolutely not. We ask the correct questions, because 99% of the time, it's actually not about the money. It's because they do not see the value, because you have not shared your vision enough. So that's usually what happens. Okay. So my first tip to you, when you get an objection, you have to relate. Oh my gosh, Shalise, I so relate to what you just said. I understand. Write that down. It's the best thing you can say to any objection. I understand. Now they know that you're not attacking them. You're on their level. Okay. Now you're on the same ball field, because you just went down to understanding, and now you feel. It's a feel, felt, found method. So you have to validate those feelings, but let's help shift that mindset after you've agreed. Hey, Shalise, you know what? I get it. I'm not a salesperson either. But think about your neighbor. Think about Sally down the road, where she has 5 kids. They never sleep at night, which means you're probably not sleeping at night. And that just causes stress on your whole family. So this is just an example, you guys, right? So it's like, all we do is we're sharing a solution and we get paid for it. That's how you do that objection with, I'm not a salesperson. Great. I'm not either. Don't want to be. I'm just getting paid very well to share something that works. So we have to identify areas where we can help people, and you want to share that's what you're getting paid to do. You're identifying solutions for people. Okay, one last thing is no time. I get it, Shalise. I didn't think I had the time either. But what I've found, so write that down, because this, you guys, this is literally how you want to do this. I get it. But what I've found. Okay, so now you get to really share you. So for me, I share, you know what, Shalise, what I've found is when my kids nap during the day, I have an hour to myself where I get to work this business. And it's actually, that hour is allowing me to make a couple extra $100 a month. Maybe you're in corporate. You can say, you know what, Shalise, I get it. I understand. But I have found that getting up 30 minutes early or going to bed 30 minutes later and just putting a little bit of time in has allowed me to not only get my products paid for every month, but it's giving me a weekly paycheck. Okay. So it's always having that solution. Now here we go, guys. This is it for us. Okay. Once you've answered all the questions, or you've gone through all the objections that you will hear every single time, you will 99% of the time never sign up somebody without an objection ever. Now, remember, you're supposed to bridge your edified sponsor over by this point, because that is following the system. But I'm giving you guys, all of you on this call, all 34 of you, I'm giving you full permission to go in, be bold, be excited, and just ask for the dang sale. 95% of sales are lost because we don't just ask for it ever. We just keep making small talk. So never, ever, ever say, let me know. If you guys say, let me know, you've lost the sale. It's like you're handing them the ball in a basketball game. Like you're just handing it over. They're never going to respond to you. Never say, let me know. Get it out of your vocabulary. So what you're just going to do is before I give you this, I want you guys to know that the best closer is the best listener. That's why God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. If you talk too much, you're literally talking yourself out of the sale. So listen to them, feel where they're at. Okay. So I'm just going to give you an example. So, Kayla, now that we've answered all of your questions, are you ready to get started? Simple, right? I just asked for the sale. So Kayla, since we just answered all of your questions, are you ready to get started tonight? That's it. That's all you're saying. Okay. So, but you guys, again, it needs to be non-emotional. They will feel commission breath. If you're talking and you're just throwing all this information at them and you're not even listening to what they're talking about, you're in it for the sale. You're not in it to give them a solution, and they will feel that a mile away. That's why you need to talk really less. So once they say yes, you guys, you're still not sending your link. So if Shalise is like, all right, Krista, girl, I'm ready to get started. We normally would just send our link. No, do not send your links yet. Still, you're going to say, okay, Shalise, do you want to hop on Zoom real quick? Do you want to hop on FaceTime? Or, I'm going to walk you through this. I'm going to walk you through this right now. You're telling them that you're going to walk them through this together. So then what you're doing is you're asking them, you're helping them come up with the correct products. You're helping them. Remember, it's non-negotiable. They have to come in with 150 PV. Okay. As we've all been working with you for 2 weeks, 150 PV as an ambassador. So what does that include? Products for themselves, products to sample out. So ask them their current health goals. My favorite thing to recommend to them is like the Q twists, Tiger Punch, greens, whatever to sample. Okay. And then that's it. You're doing it together. But the work, you guys, when you get that notification where it says Shalise has joined, that's where the beginning starts. Now you are responsible for their success. They are your liability. They are yours. So when we sign up people here, as you guys are really noticing, we're not just plugging you into all these videos and saying, see you later, good luck. No, it's like, okay, hey, we're hopping on a Zoom 3 times this week. Ask Jennifer. I don't know how many times her and I have Zoomed in the last 2 weeks. Shalise, I don't know how many times we've Zoomed in the last 2.5 weeks. Probably like 30 times. That's how serious this is. I mean, you guys, I'm not probably 30, but when you've got somebody that comes in here that's bringing in a mass amount of people, we have to Zoom that much. Like, it's your responsibility. So, what else was I going to say? Note to follow up for 15 minutes, going for the close. So yeah, that's kind of it, you guys. It's just closing with confidence. It's simply just asking for that sale. So that is it for our training. So what I want to challenge you guys to do before you go to bed tonight is, I know every single one of you has at least 1 to 2 people that you can go to right now and just be bold, be excited, and go in for the sale. Okay. All right, you guys, I will see you later. Bye.